Hello everyone, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very special process video for you. If you don't know, you probably do, today is Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate. I hope that you're probably stuck at home like me, so maybe you are watching scrapbook process videos today. Hopefully you've enjoyed your time with your family, you're taking a break, maybe it's the evening, maybe it's the middle of the morning, maybe it's your kids' nap time. But today is a very special day because it's the Mixed Media Frenzy Merry and Bright Hop. So there are a bunch of YouTubers and some Instagrammers who are all participating in this special scrapbook bonanza, I guess you could say. I'm one of them. The full list is in the description below so that you can check out everybody who's participating. So because the theme is Merry and Bright and it's from the Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group, obviously we have to play to the Merry and Bright theme and also use mixed media. So for this one, I'm using Christmas paper. This is the Cocoa Vanilla Studio Merry and Bright collection. And what I'm doing here is fussy cutting out letters so that I can include the word Merry in my title. I love that paper with the words on it. And in my haul video, I talked about how you could fussy cut out the letters and use them as titles. But the other side is a wood grain, so I wanted to make sure I got the word Merry out and then incorporate the wood grain into my layout. And why do I want wood grain in my layout? Because my photo, and I'll explain in a second, my photo is of me and my daughter on our deck. We just recently had the deck replaced and it took forever. So finally in December, started in October, in December they finished. There's still one thing that hasn't been painted, and I have no idea when they're coming back to do that. But in our world, it's completed, and that makes us merry. So I have a photo of the two of us, standing on the deck for the first time in 2 months, and we're smiling, and so that's how I'm trying to incorporate, the whole merry and bright thing into this theme. And the wood grain just kind of reminded me of, like the wood of the deck. So I'm gonna actually. I had sketched out kind of what I wanted it to look like prior to starting this video. So I'm going to layer the wood grain on top of that star paper, which to me, like, star is like bright, so that also fits in with the theme. And the star paper actually has lots of stars at one end, and then it kind of the stars get a little bit more spaced out as you go to the other end. So I wanted more of the stars to show up from behind the wood grain. So I rotated the paper to make sure that the very busy part of the paper is showing, if that makes sense. So I've got my wood grain. You can see the stars popping up from behind. I want to back my photo with another pattern paper, and there's our brand new deck. It's made of the Trex material, if you know what that is, except for the posts. The posts are all regular wood, but the flooring of the deck, and the railing are made from that special Trex material. So now I need to figure out what I want to back the photo with, which pattern paper I want to use, and I also want to have a strip that goes behind that backed paper. And at the time I wasn't sure if I was going to make it be like a banner or if it was just going to be a paper strip. So I'm just doing a little bit of measuring so I can kind of figure out where I want things to be. I've been using my ruler a lot lately, to be quite honest with you. So that's what's going to be going behind the pattern paper. It's just like a candy cane stripe. It's red, pink, and white. And then that paper is just tone on tone, kind of like what would you say that's teal, I guess? Teal, but like a darker snowflake pattern. And then the other side is really cool too. The other side is just colorful Christmas trees. So that's kind of something that I like about this collection, that there are Christmas patterns, winter holiday specific patterns, but that some of them, like the wood grain or those like snowflake things, they could be for anything. You don't have to use this collection specifically for Christmas layouts. So that's what I'm doing. I am going to end up cutting the pink and white striped paper because I want a little bit more of it to show. My title is going to go over on top of the teal pattern paper, and I don't want to cover up too much of that bright color. I was trying to do is like I have a pattern behind as the background, and then the wood grain to me is kind of like a solid because it's basically like one color. Then doing a pattern on top of the wood grain, and then more of like a solid on top of the pattern. That was my thinking there with that. And if by this point you're like, shouldn't there be mixed media on here? Why are you sticking things down already? Yeah, you're right. I kind of forgot that the layout needed to have mixed media. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to be like, oh, this was my strategy. It was all part of what I was trying to do. No, I totally forgot. So I started sticking things down and then ended up having to go back and take it all apart. But at least I knew the placement of where I wanted everything to go. So that did make it a little bit easier when I did start the mixed media because I had an idea of where things were going to be, and I didn't have to worry about covering up too much of the mixed media because I already knew where I needed it to go. But doing it this way actually gives you an idea of where everything's going to go. I'm keeping things on the diagonal and just kind of looking through the ephemera die cuts and the stickers to find pieces that can help me embellish, like I said, along the diagonal. So I have a little journaling sticker spot down at the bottom right-hand corner, and I'm going to stick on a little banner. It's got a heart on it. It's the same kind of color, that same kind of light aqua color that's down there. I also found a super cute, I guess it's like a gingerbread house, but I thought, it's a picture of us on our deck, so it's like house themed, so I'll stick it on there, even though it does look a little Christmassy, but it's December, it's a picture from December, and it's a house, so there you have it. My Merry letters that I fussy cut out, that's where they're going to go, and I'm also going to add some extra chipboard thickers to make the title be So Very Merry. And here's my white gesso that I was like, ooh, I need something mixed media on here. And what I've been doing a lot, at least toward the end of this year, is adding white gesso, just kind of like create a solid base behind my photos. So there I was just trying to sort of plot out where I wanted it to go. And I'm just using like a plastic spatula, plastic scraper thing to just sort of rub it on in as light a coat as possible because it does take a while for the gesso to dry, and I'm a very impatient person. And I also thought, okay, I've got this white gesso and it dries white. I have clear gesso too, but the white gesso is a little more fun because you can actually see it. I thought maybe I should do some like splatters with the white gesso. But I also have this Avery Elle white ink spray, and I was like, perfect. I've never used it before. I really want to use it. So that's what I'm going to do. And it says you have to shake it up really well. So, I mean, this is sped up in fast motion. But I thought I had shooken it up well enough. And as you can see, you can see the dots. And then as they dry, they disappear. And you guys, I have no idea how to combat that. I have no idea how to get them to not do that. I shook that bottle up a second time, like as many times, my arm was hurting. I shook it so much. And it's still like I spray it and it just dries clear. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not going to lie, I try using it. Try using it a whole bunch. I mean, this paper probably is not the best paper for mixed media because it's gonna warp. It's not super thick. But that white spray, it just wouldn't stay. And it was really frustrating because I had this whole idea in my mind of what I wanted the page to look like, especially with the mixed media, and it just didn't do it. So I kind of had to give up on that. I will keep you posted if I hear back from the folks at Avery Elle about how to use this stuff, and if you've ever used it and if you've ever experienced the same thing, please let me know. Or maybe it's the paper. I really have no idea. I did try it on some different like cheap pattern paper, and it did the same thing. So I'm not sure. And I tried it on Vicki Boutin Foundations paper. I'd had some color on a piece of mixed media paper that I had been working on that I ended up not liking. So I sprayed it on that on top of the color that was on that, and the same thing happened. It just disappeared. It's like the craziest thing. Anywho, that's my title. So Very Merry. I think those American Crafts chipboard thickers were part of the Crate Paper Magical Forest collection. And they're sort of pinky with some gold in them, so they look kind of festive. And the colors were were pretty spot on. I thought about using some of the Aria alphabet stickers from, who are those from? Now I can't remember, but I have them in a color called Pony, and it's like a light tan. So it's a very good neutral, but I just didn't really like it. I didn't really like the color as much with all the beautiful colors that are in this Merry and Bright collection. So the title is down. I still need something to go at the very top. Oh, and I should mention that I did also use, you saw me spray it, but the Tim Holtz Victorian Velvet, the Distress Oxide spray in Victorian Velvet. It's a beautiful pink color. I purchased it specifically to go along with this Merry and Bright kit, or the Merry and Bright collection. And I really like the way that it turned out. It did add a little bit of pinkiness up in the right-hand corner and added some pinkiness to the white gesso that's behind my photo. So that poinsettia flower, I cut it so that it looks like it's going off the page at the top, and then I brought the other end back down to the bottom, right underneath my photo. So I like doing stuff like that, cutting pieces and using only like a half and then bringing the other half back somewhere else. That's a fun technique to do. So I just need to kind of glue that better into place. And then I also pulled out some Cocoa Vanilla Studio Daydream stickers. That one that's right above the other half of the poinsettia says Our Happy Place. And I'm going to pull out another one that says something about happy, just again to kind of play in with the merry theme of this layout. The flare button I'm going to add up at the top by the poinsettia. I just needed to add an extra glue dot. There's like a piece of foam that's in the middle of it, but it's not very sticky when you take it off the paper. But I like that there's that foam piece there because it backs up. It pops it up. From the page so that you have a place to put your glue dot and it adheres a lot better. So right now I'm trying to figure out where to put other things. I need something to go around the title because there's just too much of that pattern paper showing and I don't want that negative space. So I'm cutting out this sticker so I can try to see if it might fit. I really like stacking those hearts on top of each other. They're part of the die cut ephemera pack, but I'm not really liking that there's a word on the circle because if it had just been a plain circle, then I would have liked layering the hearts on top of it. But with the word on it, it's like, I didn't know. Then I saw this punch out piece, and like one of them, there's like a snow globe or something in the middle, and a wreath that goes around it. But in the middle, there's just a white circle. And I thought that could be kind of fun to have it peeking out from behind that pattern paper there, and then I can bring the hearts down, almost like they're, kind of part of the circle. And then I really liked that little banner, just trying to mimic what is down at the bottom right hand corner. So I added a sticker word that says happy to the hearts, and I'm just kind of gluing down that circle piece, trying not to move it so much so that I don't lose the placement of where I have it. That little banner has a star in it, so again, merry and bright. And then I need to just stick down my layered hearts and my happy word. And I'm almost done with this layout. Like I said before, this is for the Mixed Media Frenzy Merry and Bright Hop. There are a bunch of us on YouTube who are participating, as well as people on Instagram, so you can watch process videos and see pictures of layouts all day long today. And so I really encourage you to go check out the full list of participants, which is in the description below. And if you're not part of the Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group, I'll have that linked below as well, so you can come join us and see inspiration all the time, different mixed media inspiration all the time. It's really a fun group to participate in and just see what everybody does, especially if you're new to mixed media. It's a great place to, like I said, find some inspiration, learn from other people, ask questions that you might have, and then here are the sequins. I've got to have sequins if it's a merry and bright layout, right? They're so festive. So I'm mixing some from a pink collection that I had. It's Old Cheeky Studio Furry Friends collection. And then I'm taking a few pieces from, I can't remember the name of the collection, but it was also a Cheeky Studio sequins mix. And it has some blues in different shades. So because there's some blue and pink on this layout in both the pattern papers and everything, I figured that I would kind of mimic those in the sequins as well. And that's it. I adhered the sequins off camera so you don't have to watch that. The close-ups are going to follow. Let me know if you have any questions about the products that I used or the technique that I used. I'd be happy to answer your questions in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up like and click subscribe so you never miss out on another scrapbook process video. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!